Want to grow your business and take it to the next level? Well, here we all are, and we are going to show you how through hard work, perseverance, and a little help and know-how, you can take things to the next level and push the success of your business even further. Let's get going.
Hi everyone, Paul Wright here, and welcome to the next episode of the Practiceology 7 Questions in 7 Minute podcast, where we teach you the science of running a highly profitable and successful allied health business that works without you. And Tom Aune has joined us today. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate the opportunity.
I'll do the formal introduction of Tom. Tom's a physiotherapist with over 25 years experience in Aune Health, and he's the founder and director of Suremploy and FitWorker360, which we're talking about today. He founded Suremploy back in 2000 after opening and operating multiple private physio practices in Australia. His entrepreneurial perspective challenged a lot of the traditional views and has succeeded in achieving outstanding results, as we'll learn today. His work in injury prevention has been shown to significantly reduce injury rates and injury costs across a range of workplaces. And his experience and knowledge in this area led to him developing a highly innovative and effective pre-employment assessment tool, which is the focus of his businesses now. And we're going to talk about that. So Tom, you ready to go with the podcast?
Ready to go, thank you.
All right, I'm going to hit my time. We'll see what happens here. Tom Aune, who is your ideal client?
Our ideal client is allied health clinic owners who are motivated to introduce a unique pre-employment assessment tool that assists their local business connections to significantly reduce injury rates. Quite often those clinic owners will be busy practitioners who may be booked out, but essentially who want to work smarter, not harder, and leverage their professional skill sets.
I love what you've done here. I love the way you've leveraged this. So question 2, so the problem you solve then is revenue?
There are two problems. One is essentially solving revenue through, I guess, overcoming or helping to overcome the geographical limitations of allied health clinics, because we're all somewhat limited in what reach we have because of geography. And the second problem we solve is for unnecessary workplace injuries in industry. And we've done that by providing clinic owners with a turnkey solution to introduce highly systematized pre-employment assessment tools and services that will help their business connections reduce injuries.
I love it. I love it.
And we actually do that by using proprietary musculoskeletal and psychometric questionnaires combined. And then we introduce an online assessment platform for those that do require further physical assessments. And that allows for scalability nationally while still upholding the quality that we all aspire to. Because I think one issue that all practitioners have is that geographical reach problem. And with our systems being fully online, and we've used this online system over 110,000 times now, we've kind of removed those geographical limitations, and hopefully we're helping to empower clinic owners to reach a more national audience.
And that's essentially answered. Question 3, the typical symptoms people experience with the problem, they can't scale outside their geographic location.
Very much so. And the other reason for that is that with occupational health and safety, I find, including pre-employment screening, a lot of practitioners put it in the too hard basket. And those that do offer it quite often say that pre-employment screenings take too long, they're too time consuming. They often don't have the outcomes for industry that they would like to see. And also the billables are too low. So from a employer or industry perspective, on the other hand, the symptoms of not getting this right are sometimes millions of dollars worth of workers' compensation premiums that, in my mind, spring from a mismatch, an essential mismatch between, on one hand, the physical inherent requirements of the role, or mental, and on the other hand, the physical or mental capabilities of the worker. And I think in Australia, we generally don't service industries very well in this space.
So question 4, with about 3.5 minutes left. common mistakes people make when trying to solve their problem of scale. I assume one of the big things that we see, they just think, well, more and more staff. They just expand and they think that's the only solution they've got.
Absolutely. And allied health staff tend not to be very inexpensive, as we know.
Yeah.
From a pre-employment, I guess, common mistakes point of view, it's quite often not asking the right questions. And so the whole exercise becomes a bit of a tick box exercise. The other thing is testing way too many things that don't actually align directly with the inherent requirements of the actual role, which is actually a medico-legal problem. And the other final thing I think is that we often don't leverage automation very well. And so the process becomes very time consuming and not very consistent and too subjective.
So question 5 then, Tom, about 2.5 minutes left. So what's a valuable free action? What do you suggest owners do about this problem, the problems they've got with scaling and everything else? What can they do to address it?
Yeah, look, one thing that I reckon they can do is to go out and literally dialogue and have discussions with local industry and just ask them to what extent injuries, both mental and physical, are impacting their businesses. And quite often that simple introduction and question coming from a genuine health professional as we are will open doors to not only pre-employment, but sometimes on-site treatment or even early intervention programs, depending on where the pain points are for the particular industry.
You're hitting the nail on the head. Find out what the desperate problem is and just asking the question, which not enough of us do. So question 6, Tom, with about 1.5 minutes left. So what's a resource? Where can people go to find out more? What's the resource you've got for them to help them do this in their practices?
So to find out more and even to take the first step in this direction, go to fitworker360.com.au/Paul Wright.
Good name. Good URL, Tom. What was it again?
fitworker360.com.au/Paul Wright. And that'll take you to all the information you need and following through. Beautiful.
And they can get a chat to your team to see how it works, find out all about it. That's all on that site.
Exactly.
I love it. Question 7 there with about 1 minute to go, Tom. What's the one question I should have asked you that would give great value to our audience today?
Well, maybe how can clinic owners make passive incomes in their practices using the pre-employment screening model? And the answer is that with screening questionnaires, they allow clinics to generate income essentially without lifting a finger. And that combined with the online physical assessment sees clinic owners get between 200% and 400% increase in hourly billable rates. And that's, look, I would encourage all clinic owners to really look also at automation and leveraging automation in our processes as allied health professionals more broadly. Because that way you can provide high quality services without constantly having to exchange our time for money.
I love it. The money's in the database. You guys have got the relationships. You've already got the leads. What are you doing outside of your sessions that can increase your revenue? And Tom's laid it out for you. What's the URL again, Tom? Where do they go to find out more, just for one last time?
So fitworker360.com.au/Paul Wright.
Tom Aune, thanks for joining us on the podcast, mate. Great session. I love anything that leverages our time, and I love a bit of passive income. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
Now, if you haven't registered for our next Practiceology demonstration, go to mypracticeology.com. You can also arrange, if you want to find out more about Practiceology, click on the link there and arrange a chat with me to see if you're a good fit. See you in the next episode.